Might talk about Sasquatches and Yetis and abominable snowmans and portals and good things happening around here. The seasons changing, the solstice happening. I might just play you some music with this guitar and have some fun. Who knows? Sasquatch, yeah. You know, he has his debut appearance in a song. Intergalactic Alaskan Folk on the album. On this album, the song that he debuts in is called Intergalactic Alaskan Folk. It's just an acronym. Sounds like a little bit like this. Wanted to check in with everybody. So I told you this portal belongs to me. All these background colors are always the same. It never changes seasons here. I got a good friend. He's a Sasquatch. He's like he's a far removed cousin. See, I have Neanderthal DNA. I checked it out, and that's why it's so easy for me to identify and speak with Sasquatches. So yeah, they're liminal beings. They use Earth, planet Earth to them, the whole planet, and they're big people. They're big beings. And I say people because they got a culture, they got things that they think about. I think the thing I love most about them is their artwork. It's all impression work. But what I was going to tell you about them is, to them, Earth is just a big hallway. It's a place that they use to go from one place to another. It's a shortcut. And they've always enjoyed the scenery here. It's kind of pleasant to them. It reminds them of their home planet. So I touched on this whole Bigfoot, Sasquatch character in the first book through a song. Now, I was just playing an Earth song for a crowd of people who wanted some really interesting Earth folk music, so I tell them this tale of the Sasquatch, which everybody's heard, that the Sasquatch uses Earth as a hallway. Well, I'm telling them, hey, yeah, he's there with the tattoo on his head, and he's telling everybody where the portal is. And so I'm raising a whole bunch of concerns amongst the galaxies there. And then the other thing that about the song is that it's a spoken word type song with a rap drum beat behind it, and it just came off really cool and nerdy. This guy is just kind of giving people bogus directions to find the portal, the Intergalactic Alaskan Folk portal. And so there's just a couple of parts in the whole song. The song is just, that's the heartbeat and the steps of Sasquatch, right? And then the spy is up here. He's going. When you listen to this song, there's a really funky. I do a really funky bass line behind it too, and so you got this rap drum beat percussion coming through, and you got this funky bass line, and then you've got the slide guitar, and then the lead guitar's got like one part in the middle, but other than that, it's just, or no, it's up here, it's going, it's just making that sound, and it's kind of got a little distortion on it, and it sounds so freaking badass, and I'm happy with it. And I should just play it for you. You guys want to hear the song? It's number 13. It's called IAFP Visit Anchorage. And this is what it sounds like recorded. Turn that shit down. There we go.
Oh, you don't believe me, huh? visit Anchorage.
Gotta visit Anchorage, you know.
Well, you visit Anchorage and then you get on the train and you go right up to Fairbanks. You gotta take the train to Fairbanks and then you get up there and then you gotta kind of look at China concert.
It's such a fun song to record.
And then you gotta climb all the way up Angel Rock.
It's a really great song, and some of the fun things that happen in the song are that the guide is telling him you got to go up the Angel Rocks and find that patch of spruce tree, you know, a special one up there, and climb up in the spruce tree and look down on Sasquatch's head and all that, and just ridiculous things to recommend anybody does in Alaska, especially Fairbanks. If you've ever seen a black spruce tree, let's talk about that as a portal into understanding time. Black spruce trees are a species of tree that are so rugged. They're always on the dark side of the hills, the shady sides. So they're over there on the shady side of the hill, and it's really cold, and they can hardly get their roots down into that soil because it's frozen most of the time, almost doesn't unfreeze. And there's rocks, it's rocky. And they're just struggling all the time. They're born out of disaster. You can't have a black spruce tree until you have a forest fire. Yeah, because the pine cones are special. So these pine cones, they'll fall out of the black spruce trees and they'll lay on the ground for years and years and years, and sometimes they won't rot, and sometimes they'll be kind of fresh or whatever. Anyway, there's forest fires up here all the time. And so the forest fires, what they do is they crawl up the side of a hill and burn everything. But at that time, when the heat is on those pine cones, the seeds burst out of them. And after the fire, they grow and you get black spruce trees. So they're born out of disaster. And they're real survivors. So yeah, and they get down on those, usually they end up on the shady side of hills. And they're just the most ridiculously scrawny trees most of the time as far as the conifers that you'll ever see. I mean, they're kind of bent over, and they look creepy, you know. They give the forest walk in Alaska a real creepy feeling. But get back to the valiant, tough, and courageous side of these trees. They'll sometimes be 110 years old and stuff like that, and only be like 20 feet tall and about a foot around, maybe 12 inches. The old ones aren't very big. They're slow growing trees, kind of harder wood for a conifer, for a pine. So Sasquatches, since they use the portal so frequently, it's kind of one of those polite things. That's what people don't understand about them, is they're super polite, almost disgustingly polite, always trying to outdo. They're like the Midwesterners of the universe, you know, always trying to out-nice the neighbor, you know. Like, hey man, what are you doing? Oh, just washing your car. I had the hose out, so I was washing mine. I figured I'd wash yours too. I had a little mud over here. Oh man, thank you so much. You know, that kind of weird shit. So Sasquatches are like that too. Great doormen. Great door people, right? So yeah, so here's what it was about, is they were just using the place all the time, and they're big, and so commissioner of Milky Way Galaxy is like, hey, you know, since you guys are using this place all the time, why don't we give you all the door codes? Why don't we put you in charge, give you a little responsibility? And so when you're heading through, if you're there and an ambassador or a dignitary is in the area needing the portal open to exit small or enter small up in Alaska, and they have these same beautiful creatures down in Argentina. If you want to come in big and get small, come out in Alaska. You'll see a lot of white ones this time of year. It's snow on the ground. If you saw my earlier video, I took you out to the Arch portal, the Moose Arch portal, and we walked towards the river and saw some good footsteps. So but they don't just, it's like, oh, hey, I'm over here, I'm a big giant Bigfoot, I'm ready to open the portal door for you if you need to leave this universe or this galaxy, or if you need to exit this reality. Because the portals, they're not just, they don't just take you from place to place, they'll take you from dimension to dimension. They'll take you from beautiful dimension to beautiful dimension, just like a fresh cup of coffee will. Coffee, black, hot. Oh, there it is, right on my replicator. Yeah, replicators are real. They're going to be the new thing. You think you weaklings, you're afraid of 3D printed food. Wait till the replicator comes out. You know the premise behind that on Star Trek, right? Those guys would take showers and go to the bathroom and stuff like that and throw food away and, all the waste, and it went to a certain section of the ship. And then all the molecules from that were reincorporated and used to build other things, like if you ordered some coffee later, or or a steak, or some eggs, or some good Roquefort, maybe an empanada. Anything will come out of it, but you got to remember it's all reused molecules. Yeah, good times, I know. But anyway, don't be afraid of 3D printed food. Don't be especially 3D printed meat. It's very economical. And anybody who's eating McDonald's every day don't care anyway. Why would you care what you ate after that? I mean, it's just... And I don't say that in a bad way. I mean, it's a real thing. Like, after about, say, another 400 or 500 years of eating that way, the human body will develop a real resilience to it. It'll be different. But let's not get into the future. I don't like to get into the future too much. Because the future can go a lot of different ways. I mean, there's so many different degrees on a sphere, and when you think of this universe as a sphere, because everything in it's a sphere, same thing below, just like above. Here's a cool little song. I'm gonna lay a little song on you that I did with this here Fender guitar my son left me, working on my posture. I went out bike riding today. I hope everybody saw that. I'm trying to get back into shape. And by that I mean I'm trying to feel good about my my general health and well-being. Oh yeah, Lord have mercy now. You just don't want to take anything too far, Station, talking about the sad state of this nation. Nuclear war and hyperinflation, it only adds to all aggravation. Come on, baby, got to turn that off and turn me on. I said, now baby, wanna turn that off and turn me on. set a haven't seen in the violence yet. The boob tube will fit in the palm of your hand, Lord, it'll take you away to another land. But come on, baby, turn that off and turn me on. I said, now, baby, you gotta turn it off and turn me on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear it all happens in a blink of an eye. Next thing you know, we're all up in the sky. I hope you don't see that on your phone. Some fake news born from the radio station, it's talking about the sad state of the nation. Nuclear wars and hyperinflation, always only everybody's aggravation. So now, baby, turn that off and turn me on. I said, no, baby, you gotta turn that off and turn me on. Baby, you can leave your socks on. Oh, but baby, you gotta turn everything else off. You gotta turn it down. Turn it off, spin some vinyl. Turn me on. A different kind of love, available on vinyl. Get it now. Not available in stores anywhere. You can only get it through musicdaves.com. musicdaves.com. Intergalactic Late Night Coffee Club. Well, I know the backdrop is so peaceful and greenish orange, and still some green in there, some browns, and it's autumn here in the portal. It's my birthday portal. You know, I was an autumn baby. That's significant, you know, that kind of makes a difference in a person's personality if you check. You know, there's 4 different types of people, really. But I might swap out guitars real quick. It's an easy thing to do. I got them all hanging on the wall right next to me here. I was walking through that plane one time, the first time I met my Sasquatch friend. They don't like names. They don't do that very well. They don't do the name game very well. You know, you either know each other or you don't. And, so, why are these guys so polite? What is their deal? Why are they doormen? Why was it easy to ask them and for them to say yes? You know, there's a chapter coming up in Book 2 of Music Dave's Adventures. Dave likes to use the portals. Okay, spoiler alert. I'm gonna lay some cool stuff on you about this ship that was gifted to him. It's called the Hope. And it was given to Music Dave and Regina as a kind of blessing ship. You know, like here, kids, I approve. It was a gift from Dad. There's no marriages. You don't do things that way. You hold sacred space for energy, and man, there's just so little jealousy going on outside of the planet Earth, because you can't really hide the things that eventually lead to a jealous heart or a jealous mind. It'll show. And a lot of us, you know, Here's the thing: is a lot of the supplemental, you would almost call it the punctuation of telepathy, is body language. It's not the words that come out of your mouth, it's the expressions on your face, micro expressions. Have you ever heard of those? Well, if you're telepathic, you can see those. They're like, but I digress. So in book 2, we're gifted this really cool ship, and it's got shuttlecraft. It's got a scout, a raven ship, a raven-shaped ship that scouts out gigs for us. It's always 2 thoughts ahead of our ship. So, and our ship is built on thought. That's it. No steel, no riveting. It's just all held together by the conscious agreement of a group of Eliaons that have devoted thousands of 100-year lifetimes to thinking the ship the way it should be. So on board the Hope, you've heard of the holodeck, right? You know, where you can just jump, you know, program it to be anything you want in Star Trek and jump into the holodeck. That's not the way it is on the Hope. What we've got is 4 different portals. You know, and they're basically for recreational use. So what you do is, the way you use these portals is you got to dial in a time and a location. And then you go visit. And so at one point I was like, oh, it'd be cool to visit my Neanderthal ancestors. So I take one of these portals back and I meet my Neanderthal ancestors, and it's on a totally different level. It's on a totally different planet. And I'm like, why doesn't this seem anything like Earth? And they're like, well, because we haven't even gone to Earth yet. Right? So there was a time before the Sasquatches got here. So I might have tipped them off, is what I'm saying. You know, sometimes I'll go through a portal, I'll go do something, and really affect the future. And I did that in the last book too, but I affected it in a positive way. I didn't let the Bennington take me and the crew back to Earth. They grabbed us and they were going to do some time travel for us, and we said no, the thing isn't over yet, but they were going to step in and whisk us away and things like that. Why do I do that? What's the purpose of that in the book? What creative outlet does that give me? How does that help me understand my world? A lot of speculative fiction, even though it's fiction, is bound to be true. I mean, I remember watching flip phones on Star Trek before there were flip phones. It's happening fast, you know. But the reason I'm doing that in the book is to show that everything you do does affect the future of what's going on, right? You do have an impact, and it's okay to make it a big one. Why not try and have a real huge positive impact? You know, that's music. Dave in the book, he's always trying to lift everybody up, leave a little music, straighten some things out. So he's going to continue to be that kind of character, I think, in the next book, where even though he makes mistakes, they're vital. He's got to make mistakes in order to grow. He's got to make mistakes. He's got to bend rules, break rules, disagree with rules in order to create, I don't want to say good art or good music, but the kind of music that works in the healing process of a musician or an artist. Any artist that's just doing it because, you know, for the money or whatever, I think they're kidding themselves. I don't think anybody that gets proficient or anywhere close to mastery at anything musical or artistic, even if it's, you know, whether it's with a brush, digital, or anything, a pencil, sculpture. I'm leaving something out, dance. However, your art works. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're doing fine. One top over the line. About out of my mind. Hey, don't follow me. Let's stop. The cattle rise from the floor. Slip through the cracked open door. Why ever open it more than you need? Why ever open it more than you need? Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Set yourself free. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Emotions just blurring the lines. All of this space and this time, nothing's free. Oh no, don't follow me. Yeah, yeah. So I like the fact that there's an absolute following for the Bigfoots, the Sasquatches, especially it seems like in the northern hemisphere, but they're portal gatekeepers in the southern hemisphere too. There's Sasquatch in Argentina. There's Sasquatch in Africa. There's Sasquatch in Australia. Which means there's portals in all those places. But like I say, they're a huge group. They're a huge tribe. I remember the first time I met them, I was like, wow, it's like a sea of endless squatches. You know, you're looking over these hills of squatches. And they don't need food. They literally are one of the first beings that like existed on sunshine. They just get by on light. They can take in their eyes. Now that's why their fur changes color too, because their eyes still got all those special techniques that early beings in the universe had with eyeballs. You know, you got to develop an eyeball with a certain amount of limitations and a certain amount of, you know, range so that life can be enjoyed. And when the Sasquatches started out on their planet, there was just this incredible impulse to reproduce, and it overrode everything, and there was just no way they could take time to eat. And if you think about food and gathering food, hunting food, meal preparation, all these other things, that if you didn't have to eat, how much more time would you have for reproduction, right? And so that's why their eyes were designed the way they were, so that they can feed on just the light coming from the sky, and so that they could change color when they needed to with the seasons, kind of like a fox and a rabbit. So now you guys know quite a bit more about what I know. You know more about what I know more about than probably anybody else. Now, when I first met the Squatches, they didn't have melody, they just had rhythm lines. And I was like, what? And they're like, what is this melody line thing you think you speak of? You know, all they had was, you know, the I was like, well, change it up a little bit, man. You know, maybe make a melody line too. Try to. And so, anyway, goofing around like that and hanging out with the Squatches too long, and they're really affectionate people. Anyway, I missed the opening to the portal and ended up there for like 70, 80 years. And we made a lot of good music. And so they're often attracted to those rhythms back on Earth. They really dig melody lines. It still tickles them to this day. You know, it takes a long time for something to fully awaken in your DNA. You know, like it was always there. You know, like that thing with their eyes is with us too. We could live on sunshine, but we'd have to awaken that. I think there's a couple of real quacks here on Earth that are doing that. Real nutbags, real crazies. They're living off sunshine, and everybody's doubting the shit out of them. But you know what? It's all in the eyeball, man. If you can turn on that aspect of your DNA that makes your eyeball able to capture light and turn it into nutrition. Well, yeah, that's what trees do. That's what plants do. They actually turn light into sugar. It's called photosynthesis. You know, so our bodies are kind of like plants. They can do all those things. Good coffee. What's that? What's in that coffee? Just coffee and sugar. Late night coffee. About to be midnight. It's about to be midnight here in Fairbanks, Alaska. There it is. The dark hour, the witching hour. Yep. Yeah. Which means I've been on for like close to an hour. So maybe I'll stop storytelling and jaw-jacking and telling you everything I know about the Sasquatches and the portals. And I'll let you enjoy the written version in the next book and the songs that accompany it. Chains, they've fallen off my mind, because I dared to let you in. I'm not afraid of what I'll find inside this time. Come on, get underneath my skin. Discover me. I'm almost human. Recover me back from the dead. Enlighten me, but keep it simple. There's so much uncharted territory up ahead. close to feel the flame. A human cast a spell upon me that night. Now I know I'll never be the same. Careful now. Yeah, your hand is on my lifeline. Please be the one that never does me wrong. Enlighten me. Keep it simple now. Yeah, you're my music. Yeah, I'm your song. You are my music. I am your song. I am your music. You are my song. I am all music. You are all song. Down here. Everybody have a pleasant evening, and I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you later today as it goes. And it's been really great. Bye. Love ya.